Okay, we just started the engine up. The upper radiator hose here, it's going up about 12-13 inches above the top of the radiator, has been primed with water up to about this level. Air has been bled off the system with the bleed hose back here on the thermostat cover coming up. Currently the fans are not running, they're stationary. Would assume that the thermostat is closed as it should be. We've got digital temperature, which is running off of this probe into the neck in our funnel catchment bottle. So we'll see how this does once it warms up and starts flowing a little bit of water through the top radiator into the catch bottle. Heater control is on, and there is warm air coming out of the vents. See, the temperature currently is up to maybe about a third of the way, 2/3 of the way up to the halfway mark. Typically about 50% higher towards the halfway mark is when we might expect the thermostat to open up and the fans to kick on, somewhere in that general range. You can see the fans are still off. We're starting to build a little bit of temperature here. So there is some hot water just kind of hanging out in the tube right now. The fluid level's probably somewhere right about in here, and I can feel heat. It's maybe about 90 degrees right here. Probably 110 right here or so. Right now inside the radiator neck, we're 106, and we do have fluid right now that is in the top of the radiator, which would be the warmest fluid in the radiator, but that would only be any water residual that's coming back through this lower radiator hose, which is a little bit warm right now. So we might currently be in a situation where the thermostat has actually opened. We'll be back to you once the fans kick on, I think. But we'll just kind of watch right now for a second. Temperature on the right, 106 degrees Fahrenheit. And you can see the water in the bottle. It's fluctuating just a little bit, going up and down. Well, as luck would have it, as soon as I stopped the video, which was less than 3 seconds, 5 seconds ago, we got a little bit of water spurting out of the hose here, which is the upper radiator hose. We can see some steam building, steam actually coming out of the top of the catchment bottle. Radiator temp up to 250. So it looks like the engine thermostat definitely opened up. We had hot water building in the engine, and we immediately pretty much shot up to 250 degrees temperature, the water that was first coming out of the engine. We'll see what happens as it circulates a little bit here. If it doesn't take too long, I'll go ahead and stay with until hopefully the fans kick on. Which we can see they're still off. Being that this is a first time start, I would almost kind of expect there to maybe be a little bit of an air pocket back here. We'll go ahead and see if we can bleed out any kind of air that might be in there. I've already bled this a couple times. Go ahead and leave that valve open for a second. Give it a little bit of a suck to help it out. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that valve open right now on the overflow, or the bleeder valve rather. Lower radiator hose is warm. So, indicating either air pocket around the thermostat Yeah, that's almost, I can hold on to it, so I'd say that's about 160 degrees, maybe 170, so we probably have an air pocket going on here. See if I can kind of burp this a little bit. Try and get a little bit of hot fluid in contact with that thermostat. See if I can get it to open up. The cooling system's probably been running for about maybe 3 minutes since the last time we checked. Right now, coolant coming into the top of the radiator is at 250 degrees, give or take. The thermostat definitely has to be open at this point. Otherwise, there wouldn't be this much fluid pumping through the system. Still, I mean, it's hot to the touch back here at the thermostat housing, but I don't know, I'd say probably 160 to 180 degrees in that range, but the thermostat's got to be open inside there. No more real air bubbles coming out of the bleed valve. Well, I guess maybe a couple little ones. There I see a couple coming, so we'll let that continue to run and bleed out. 248 degrees jumping in, but again, still seems like the typical problem that I think I'm having here really is that the water pump just isn't pumping consistently. It's kind of splurging out. This doesn't seem to be a good steady flow of water, which is what I would assume we should have when the thermostat is open. So the fans have kicked down now. They're both running. What I did to kind of prompt that a little bit was I went into the car and I turned the heater core off. So the bypass down here for the heater cooler is now closed. Put a little bit more load on the cooling system of the car. The fans have already kicked off again. Temperature up here, I looked real quick, it went up to about 252 when the fans were on and has come back down. Now this is not temperature that the thermostat would be seeing. This is the temperature coming out of the engine. This is engine coolant temperature coming out into the bottle. Temperature probe right here in the bottle, in the neck of the radiator, measuring it kind of at a constriction point so that we can keep water on the temperature probe. And one more time, I closed the heater valve. And to run up to the maximum temperature, fans are running. 250 degrees Fahrenheit. This is pretty much about as much flow as I ever get coming out of the water pump. The fans have already shut down. I'm going to go ahead and turn the ignition off here. Temperature inside. Half the run fan on the passenger side is running. I would expect the temperature to probably peak up a little bit here. Coolant is surging a little bit in the top of the radiator. 260. That's the highest temperature I've seen so far. Would expect to see the high temp at this point. 274, 273. So fairly consistent with test we did earlier when we had the old radiator hose, lower radiator hose. So we've got zero improvement with the new radiator hose, and pretty much to be expected. Visual inspection of the radiator hose on the inside. Yeah, it was old, but no collapsed walls, no problems there.